Good morning, everybody. Sean with Back to Good here. Today is August 23rd, Saturday, and I had that surgery August 12th, so I'm a little weak, a little under the weather. I was wanting to do an update for y'all. So many people were concerned about my health and how I was doing. And I do appreciate all the prayers and the kind words, everybody helping me get through that. It was, it wasn't simple, it wasn't easy. We did have a complication, so I think I'm going to wait until I get back to the tent that Rachel set up for me to sit down, and I'll tell you all about that. I was wanting to walk and talk and show you around our area here, but I'm just a little winded doing it. So a couple new updates. We did get a dumpster here, so we've got our own dumpster down at the property. We were paying Gary to use the dumpster that he had, but that didn't work out, so we went ahead and got our own dumpster, and he doesn't have a dumpster anymore, so we told him if he needs to throw a bag of trash away, he certainly can, just got to come down here and do it. So we're being humble. I think you've seen all the exciting stuff going on with Mary and Miley. There are new neighbors right behind us down there. They're right down there. Their driveway goes in just past the access road there. Well, here we are. Here's our spot. We're still waiting to get the back side of the landing pad there graded out and get some more gravel in. There were quite a few things I couldn't get done before the surgery that we're going to have to tackle, like move all this stuff out of the way right here, move that over, because I want to get gravel down in the driveway right here, and I would like to get, if we have enough, up the road a little bit past the dumpster so the dump truck don't have any issues during raining season. But let me take you over to this tent that Rachel set up, because Rachel, she's been really stretched thin lately. The kids went back to school. I had the surgery, and she's trying to make things happen for the main channel, and just not enough hours in the day. So we're kind of in a holding pattern right now. But I want to take you over to this tent. It's a temporary one that Rachel set up for me, because I'm not supposed to be doing stairs too much, going up and down stairs. So she's got her FlexiSpot chair in there that lifts me out of the seat, which is very helpful. So I've got a lot of strain in the midsection there, trying to get up and down. So I'm gonna go show you that. So yeah, she's got that tent set up for me there. She's got the solar panels on the outside. There's a solar generator battery on the inside, so I've got power. Linus is speaking there. But it's a pretty cool tent. It's a temporary one. It's not a 4-season tent. It's not gonna stand up to the storms. So this guy's gonna have to come down. And if we get any storms, it's gonna have to come down anyway, because this area right here that I'm standing on, it's all dirt up to that gravel, still has to be graded down, and then we're getting more gravel in this whole area right here all the way back to where the car is and out the driveway. So we can put permanent structures here. So let me take you inside the tent here. The door is actually pretty cool. It's got these magnets on them, and if you pull them together, all the magnets stick together and shut that screen door to keep the bugs out. So let me get in here and sit down, catch my breath. We'll talk about what happened with that surgery. Alright, I hope you can hear me okay. I gotta have that fan on. It's quite hot out. It was quite hot. We were under heat advisory when we got home from the hospital. It was well over 100 degrees. With the heat index, it was 100 teens. So yeah, without having actual air conditioning, just working with fans and swamp coolers, did the best we could. We're still here, we're surviving. So the hospital stay for my surgery was supposed to be 2 to 3 days. Ended up being there for 6 days because we did have a complication. Had the surgery August 12th, Tuesday morning. Everything seemed fine. Got out of the surgery. It was about 4 hours later. Woke up. Rachel was with me. Had to answer some questions, and I remember getting like surveyed. I was pretty groggy from that anesthesia, but I do remember that. But made it through the day. They had me on just a clear liquid diet, ice chips, water at that point. Wasn't going to introduce anything until the next day. So that evening, Doc wanted me to get up and go to the bathroom on my own. So I did. I got up, went to the restroom to try to use it, and when I got back up out of the restroom, I got very lightheaded, very clammy. I thought I was going to black out. My vision started to get dark. So I pulled that little cord they got in the bathroom there, and nurses rushed in immediately and told them what was going on, that my vision went black on me and I had to sit back down. So they helped me back in bed. They got me stabilized. It was late in the evening. It was after 10 p.m. when that happened. So they put messages in for the doctor, and first thing in the morning, they come in and said I got to go down and get a CT scan. So did that first thing the following morning. Went down, got a CT scan. About an hour later, the surgeon was in with the results. I guess I had a bunch of blood that was pulled up, just kind of sitting in the abdominal area there. He wasn't 100% sure if I was bleeding internally or if it was just from the surgery and I had retained it, and so he wanted to know, the options at that point where we'd go back in, cut me back open, and see what's going on, or wait it out a little bit. And I told the surgeon I think we better wait it out here. So he agreed. We waited it out. Got another CT scan later that day, and got the results back from that one about an hour later, and there was still quite a bit of blood pulled up, but it hadn't increased. So his suspicion of it was pulled up from the initial surgery was probably correct. So, but I had lost quite a bit of blood, and I was very, very clammy, very pale, so they wanted to give me a blood transfusion. I've never had a blood transfusion before, but they told me that it was highly recommended, so I went ahead and did the blood transfusion. I knew I was A positive, but they had to test my blood anyway just to make sure I was A positive. So I got the blood transfusion that day. At this point, I'm still on clear liquid diet. Then the next day, I was feeling a little better. They went ahead and upgraded me to like a, I don't know if they call it a full liquid diet, but I was able to get broth and some Jello, stuff like that. Stuff with sugar in it. I'm not supposed to be eating, but I ate it because, you know, I hadn't had food in a couple days. So I was on that diet for a couple days, started getting better, and then they upgraded my liquid diet one step further to where I was able to get like some cream of wheat, some yogurt, and you know, juices and tea, coffee, stuff like that. So just took it easy. Ended up being in the hospital for 6 days. It was only supposed to be 2 to 3 days, but we had that complication. So the 6th day in the morning, I was asking the nurses, I'm like, do you think it's possible to upgrade me to, if we can talk to the surgeon, see if we can get upgraded to some kind of solid diet? And yeah, we'll put the message in, we'll let him know that you're wanting to upgrade your diet. So it was his day off, a Sunday. He said he's only 3 minutes from the hospital there in Fort Smith, so he came in, check on me on his day off, and first thing he said to me was, do you want to upgrade to a solid diet or do you want to go home? I said, well, if those are my choices, I guess we'll go home. So he started to do the paperwork to discharge me that day. So day 6, I got to come home, called Rachel, she came. You know, we're about an hour and a half away from the hospital there where we live. Came and picked me up. We had to get my prescriptions filled at Walmart. But the doctor did recommend that I stay on a very low fiber, just take it easy on the diet, on the solid foods, because everything's still waking up in there and don't want to react too hard. So got home, taking it easy, just kind of eating, you know, stuff that's not hurting my insides too much. But so here's the thing, I was steady at my weight. My 222 pounds was my weigh-in when I got to the hospital on the Tuesday morning before the surgery. I was on a liquid diet for 6 days, hooked up to IV for 6 days, and got the blood transfusion. When I got home and weighed myself that night before I went to bed, I had actually gained weight. I was 232 pounds. I didn't know how that happened. I had somehow water retention, all that liquid, it just absorbed into me. I gained 10 pounds from laying in that bed and just being on a liquid diet. So that was a little disheartening. But over the last week here, it has come down, it has come back off. I did weigh myself last night. I didn't weigh myself this morning, and I was back down to 222 last night. So all that water retention did come back off, but I thought that was kind of odd, you know, going to the hospital and you're on a liquid diet and you gain 10 pounds. It happened, so there's that. So just taking it easy right now. I feel like, I don't know if because of the extra blood that I had to disperse in my body there, if that's what's slowing me down, but I really thought the healing process of this surgery was going to be easier than the first 2 surgeries, because the first 2 surgeries actually had to do with, you know, incisions and cutting my organs, my intestines and colon up before and reattaching things, and whereas this one was basically just rearranging all of those organs inside the body, getting the muscle liner over with the mesh, and then another muscle liner over. By the way, the scar looks amazing compared to what it was before. The doctor, the surgeon, he did an amazing job. He was able, because I had lost so much weight for the surgery, he was able to remove about that much scar tissue and shrink it down to pretty much nothing, and got me stapled up and fused up really well. I did go back for a checkup yesterday at Fort Smith with the surgeon, and they were going to remove all the staples, but they thought, you know, just to be on the safe side, let's take it slow. They only removed half of the staples, so I got to go back in next Wednesday to get the remaining half of the staples removed, and then those will finally be out. But I am home. I am healing, and thank you so much again to everybody that's been following along. I'm sorry I haven't been able to get anything out on my health. I just really wasn't feeling well enough to even speak. It was hard for me to even just focus and reply to comments, so I didn't get a lot of comments replied to. I apologize, but you know, when you're not feeling well, rest is really what I needed, and I'm still kind of in that rest mode. It hasn't quite been 2 weeks yet. I'm supposed to be off work for 8 weeks, but now the leave of absence people are telling me they're pushing for the 6-week mark. They've only approved me off 6 weeks, so we have to get more paperwork filled out closer to that 6-week mark if the surgeon does want me off that extra 2 weeks. There was in my opinion, a miracle that happened. We were a little stressed out, me and Rachel, how we were going to do financially during these 2 months here, because you know, we've got bills we got to pay, and my insurance through work is only paying me half-time for 4 weeks of the 8-week leave of absence. So not getting full paychecks, and wasn't quite sure 100%. We do make some money off YouTube, but we're not breaking the bank with that, I promise. So yeah, in my opinion, it was a miracle. The second night I was in the hospital, I checked my email, and I got a statement from the title company, because we chose to do an owner carry on our land in Arizona to some nice folks so they could make payments on it and get the land. They paid off the land, so we got a big payment from that. Not enough, you know, to go out and buy tractors and trucks and all that stuff. Just enough to pay the bills for a couple months. So in saying that, we no longer own land in Arizona. We got a little bit of extra help from that, and in my opinion, that was a miracle, because I didn't know quite how we were going to make it the next few months. So that brought a lot of stress relief to me. And stress is one thing I don't need right now. The doctor was very adamant about keeping my cortisol levels down during this healing process, and staying away from stressful environments, which I have been. So that's pretty much it. We've got, hopefully here in the next few days, Wiley will be able to come over with Jen, and they can work on that, grading this pad area out here, and hopefully I'll be good enough to film and walk around doing that. I got to get up and walk every day, so I can't just be sitting on my butt. I got to move to get my body healed. So getting up and moving, but I got to be smart. I can't, you know, be lifting stuff and going gung-ho and think, oh, I can just go right back to this, because this is serious. I can't mess this surgery up. I don't want to do this again. If this is the last surgery I have for the rest of my life, I'll be a happy man. So I got to take this healing period seriously, so we can get back to it. I'll get back to work, and hopefully things will get back to good. Thank you, everybody. It's a great day in Arkansas. We'll see you next time. Bye.